So early morning hours of June 28th, 2009, the Fort Worth PD with two Texas Alcoholic Beverage Commission officers came into the Rainbow Lounge, ostensibly for what was referred to as a routine bar check. Now, there's a whole process when the police come to see, is a bar operating according to the law? You greet the manager, shake their hand, say, this is why I'm here. You pull out your flashlight and check the license to make sure it's up to date, that it's hanging in the appropriate public place. You might go behind the bar and make sure that the liquor being served is real liquor. It's not, hadn't been bamboozled. And that bottles, when they're empty, have the ID number scratched out and they're thrown in the trash appropriately. There's a whole protocol. None of that happened this night. The police held the doorman up against the wall so that he could not enter the bar and let anybody know that they were there. And then they rushed in with zip ties in their back pocket and started approaching patrons. This is a busy Saturday night, Sunday morning. Approaching patrons in a packed bar, on the dance floor, in the VIP area in the back of the bar, back through a patio area where a lot of people were congregated on a very hot night outside, and would tap people on the shoulder from behind, and as they turned around they would say, "You are publicly intoxicated, you are under arrest. Hold your wrists out," and they would zip tie them. And all these people are starting to be dragged out one by one by one. One patron was hurt in his arm and I think maybe wrist, minor injury, but another patron, Chad Gibson, was hurt pretty bad. He was pretty inebriated, but when he was taken down against a concrete floor and against a brick step that was next to it, and taken with such force that it damaged his skull. And he had a hematoma on the brain, and he had to be taken to ICU at John Peter Smith Hospital. He was there at least a week, maybe 10 days. We were furious. I actually wasn't there that night, but our cell phones, everyone in the community, people started texting like crazy in the middle of the night. One or two people had taken some pictures as things had happened with their cell phones. But people were mortified. Patrons were afraid to leave the bar. The police had called for backup, so now instead of 5 or 6 vehicles, and they brought a paddy wagon, instead of 5 or 6 vehicles, there were quite a few more because more police came when they'd called for backup. Things are out of hand, show up. The gays are out of hand. And it gets to be at 2 o'clock and the patrons were afraid to leave, and the bar owners like, hey police, what do I do? I'm supposed to have them out the door at 2 o'clock or I'm in violation of the law, but they're afraid to leave because all you guys are out there looking to arrest them. It was a bit of a standoff. There were people jumping the fence from the patio in the back trying to escape. There were people scared to death that they were in the closet. They were scared that their family would find out, or they would find out from some picture in the newspaper, they'd lose their job. There are all sorts of things going on because there were still a lot of very closeted people here in Fort Worth, still are. That's their call. And we have to make a safe space for them too. What the police and the TABC didn't realize is that they came to the Rainbow Lounge almost to the hour, the 40th anniversary of the Stonewall riots.